We aren't getting another season of Stranger Things for at least another year, but if you miss young teenagers on bikes and 80s nostalgia, Paper Girls on Amazon Prime is here to keep you hooked. And while we get where the comparisons are coming from, this show is much different from the Netflix hit series. Today, we'll discuss why Paper Girls is so much more than its similarities to Stranger Things. First up, Paper Girls released last month and has been compared to Stranger Things. Prime Video released the first teaser for their new young adult series in the first week of July, right around the time of the Stranger Things Volume 2 craze. Instantly, it was compared with the hit Netflix series, Stranger Things for Girls. On the face of it, Paper Girls has some similarities to Stranger Things. A group of young teen protagonists? Check. Girls navigating the 80s? Check. Sci-fi adventures? Check. The Stranger Things kids discover a supernatural realm known as the Upside Down with demon-like beings. These Paper Girls time travel to future worlds and alternate timelines. They face rivals trying to hunt them down as they try to find their way back. Of course, Amazon has also tried to push it as their take on Stranger Things. The trailers feature the same kind of music that we hear in the Netflix show. While there may be some similarities, Paper Girls is by no means a female version of the hit series. Calling it one would be a massive disservice. You only need to get to the first episode to realize how this show is so much better than you think. Up next, Paper Girls is actually way better than Stranger Things. Everyone loves to call the show Stranger Things 2.0, but Paper Girls is so much better. It addresses themes that have never been touched by the Netflix show, which makes this new show so much better. Paper Girls is a comic book adaptation and has its own unique character. You'll realize that this show is sort of the thematic opposite of the Netflix show, and that's precisely why you should love it so much. Anti-nostalgia. This is one of the original comics' main themes that the show picks up. Instead of glorifying or romanticizing the era, like most period dramas do, the Prime show reflects on how the 80s were far from perfect. It wasn't all about Madonna and Kate Bush. There were many issues. These were issues that still exist today, but were heightened back then. Bigotry, misogyny, homophobia, sexism, these issues are only lightly brushed upon by shows like Stranger Things. We love Paper Girls because it reflects a much more realistic side of the 80s, and then mixes it with sci-fi. That's a pretty impressive feat if you ask us. Coming up, the story's main focus is on the characters' lives. Unlike Stranger Things or most sci-fi shows, Paper Girls doesn't focus on creating magical and mystical alternate worlds overwhelmed by special effects. Its story focuses on the characters. For shows like Stranger Things, the sci-fi element is the central part of the plot. That's where all the big decisions are made. That's how characters' worth is decided. Why is Elle our main character? Well, she's at the center of the Upside Down mystery. That's not how it works in Paper Girls. Here, the story is more about how the characters are shifted with the time travel they witness, not the other way around. All four girls have self-discovery arcs in their show, and they do it through the medium of time travel. We've all seen enough time travel productions to know that whatever you do not talk to your future past or self. It'll create some sort of grandfather paradox or the butterfly effect, and you'll die or whatever. Paper Girls doesn't do that. Here, the older version of one of our main girls, Erin, is a central character in the girls' lives in the future timeline. Erin is still living in her mother's house in 2019. She's basically the parental figure here, and she has many conversations with her 12-year-old self. We see many exchanges between the two, and they clash about how and why their life has taken this turn. That's the true charm of the show. Imagine explaining where you are in life to your naive 12-year-old self. It's the real-life embodiment of what advice you would give to your younger self. How cool is that? Character development is also very strong in this new show, which we don't really see in Stranger Things. In the hit show, it seems like the Duffer Brothers don't want to mix things up too much. All characters and their relationships are more or less the same throughout the show. Paper Girls shows the opposite of that. The time travel is an opportunity for the girls to see how they'll change and how their older selves will be so much different from how they are now. And the most crucial detail is them actually coming to terms with their future. How do each of these people accept their fate? In Mac's future, well, she's dead. And that's terrifying for a 12-year-old girl to learn, but we see her accepting that. Next, Paper Girls explores the best parts of girlhood. Call it Stranger Things for Girls all you want. The way this show explores girlhood is just fantastic. Being a woman means you're multidimensional. You can be nerdy, tough, girly, sporty. No one size fits all, and the show does a great job of portraying that. We see this shining through how Tiffany's older self teaches her how to make her hair and how the girls learn to put up with the pressure of family expectations they will soon face. But our personal favorite is how they're introduced to menstruation. In episode 5, Erin gets her period. She later learns that using tampons can give one toxic shock syndrome, to which she says that she wants to quit periods. Everyone who menstruates can relate to this so much. We're sorry, but where did these hearty moments go in Stranger Things? Did Max and Eleven never go through these changes? Or did the writers not want to show us that because, well, it's deviating from the main plot? These experiences are entirely missing from the Netflix show, which is what makes it lack in so many ways and makes Paper Girls so much better. Finally, we all love how this new show handles sexuality, much better than Stranger Things. Another way this show is so much better than Stranger Stranger Things is it explores the characters' sexual identities. KJ's exploration of her sexual orientation is so much better than Stranger Things. Duffer Brothers, please take notes. It took these men 4 seasons to confirm that Will is gay, and even then, it wasn't his moment. No, these writers decided that the best way to represent a coming out moment was to turn it around into making Mike realize how much he loves Eleven. Give us a break. And come on, it's like saying the word gay is some sort of trigger here. We know Robin and Will are both gay, and it's been confirmed, and yet no one actually uses the term. For a show set in the 80s, we think using the correct terminology is especially important. That's why we love Paper Girls. KJ has her sexual awakening in the sweetest way possible. There is no other focus, no Mike, and no Eleven. It is her moment. We see how she reacts to her older self being a gay film student at NYU. You see the confusion and nervousness. You witness the vulnerability in KJ's eyes as she understands her sexuality and how her future self has made her life so different from what she thought it would be. She also realizes how she may be crushing on her friend Mac. The whole conversation between her and her older self's girlfriend Lauren about movies is so beautiful. Lauren explained everything to KJ, and we couldn't help but shed a few tears. You have to watch this scene. This show is unlike any other. It explores the gray area, the awkwardness between childhood and adolescence. The age of 12, it's about friendship, love, and acceptance, all tied in with a bit of time travel insanity. And it's much better than Stranger Things can ever be. And now, it's time for some other news. First, actor Fina Straza talks about Stranger Things comparisons. In an interview with New York Post, Fina Straza, who plays KJ in the show, says the two shows are very different. The actress said she feels lucky to be in the same genre or field as that show, but Paper Girls has a very different tone and message. Fina also discussed how most 80s shows rely heavily on nostalgic themes like fashion, loud patterns, fun music, but they didn't address any of the issues that Paper Girls does. Next, Paper Girls comics skyrocketed in value. After the success of the first season of Paper Girls, the comics value has gone up by a lot, where it's $130 for a CGC and $23 for raw copies. While value is rising, it's interesting to see that sales don't match the current supply. Supply outweighs demand, but the show only just came out. This might change very soon. Finally, Paper Girls showrunners reveal hopes for Season 2. During their panel at the San Diego Comic-Con, executive producers and showrunners for this new trending series discussed prospects for Season 2. They revealed they already have a direction plan and are really looking forward to a renewal. Same here. We can't wait to see what's next for our favorite girls. That's a wrap on this video. Do you think these comparisons are valid? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.